Good morning. The message for today is going to surround two quotes. One by G.K. Chesterton, a great English journalist and writer. Another one is from Laozi, the author of the Tao Te Ching. Now, it's interesting when you have two different traditions that overlap. But this isn't a historical discussion. This is just something to make your life a little bit better. Chesterton once said something interesting about metaphysics. Metaphysics is the study of reality and philosophy. And obviously, some people think that philosophy is useless. Chesterton wanted to argue the opposite, and he said the business world needs metaphysics to simplify it. And then what's interesting is businessmen are usually the quote unquote no nonsense. You know, they are not the useless people like philosophers are. And Chesterton wants to argue the opposite is that people that really want to be practical need to have a simplified world. It can't just be a miasma of chaos. It has to have some type of ordered whole. And that's what metaphysics does. And this brings us to the other quotes. To attain knowledge, add things every day. To attain wisdom, remove things every day. And this is an interesting quote, not just because I think it's true, but because we live in the age of information where we literally are inundated with a surplus of information. It's likely that we actually know more than we can actually put to use, and we actually get in the habit of learning things and not applying it. And in some ways, it builds up habits of not using information. In a way, information and knowledge is cheap. And if we are not wise with our inputs and outputs and our habits and how we value certain pieces of knowledge, we won't be effective in using the right types of information. So, what does this all mean? Well, think about what your life is about, your core priorities. What are you working for today? If you could focus on the core high value activities and ignore the low value activities, you're going to have a more effective day. What are you going to do the next year, the next month, the next week? If you could take a step back and only invest in the high value stuff, the high ROIs, the things that are truly valuable, and you're not going to be sucked into the low value stuff, you're going to live a happier, more effective life in every way. Kind of like Abraham Lincoln once said, whatever kind of man you're going to be a good one. So this is very general information. If you want to have knowledge, well, in some ways, you just keep learning and learning and learning and learning. And if you want to be wise, you have to take a step back from these growing list of propositions and see, well, how does it all fit together? Some of this stuff is less important than others, or some of the stuff is false. Put your energy in the right places. So, to two takeaways, metaphorically speaking, prune your gardens. If you know anything about gardening, if you prune things, you actually cultivate a better garden. And like life, if you prune the things that are not helping you in your life, you're going to have a better life. And that goes with your relationships, your investments, your education, everything. So prune your gardens in order to cultivate your life. Two, take away excess, which is similar to pruning, right? But think about what you put into your body, what you put into your mind. What is the core stuff? Think about Michelangelo. He was talking about taking away the excess. And once you take away the excess from the marble, he releases the sculpture from inside. It's an interesting concept. If you know exactly what you're after, then you take away the excess and you have something of beauty. But if you try to keep things that are inessential, you're actually going to obfuscate or prevent the beauty. In any case, thanks for listening. If you like what you hear, like and share. Check out my website, commonphilosopher.com. And as a practical application, especially in social media, the things that don't nourish you, that don't help you get closer to what's true and good and lovely in this world, chuck it out. Don't put things into your mind and body that are bad for you. Just stop doing it. You can do that today. So if I'm in the category of bringing you something valuable, then like and share. If there's something else that is not, that, just kind of just waste your time or doesn't develop you as a person, take that out. And you guys have a great day and a great week.